Hey guys, it's Cayley. I'm back with another what sold from last week video. In today's video, we're going to be going over sales that are happening right now on eBay and Poshmark. So if you guys are wanting to study what types of brands, styles, sizes, all that stuff is selling, then stay tuned because I have some great bolos for you guys. Before we dive into today's video, I wanted to take another moment to thank a partner on my channel, which is GROPack. If you guys are not familiar with GROPack, they are an online shipping supplies company. Their website is super clean and simple, and I really love them for that. Basically, just go on, you choose what kind of bag do you want. Do you want a bubble mailer, a poly mailer? You choose your size. They have many different sizes. You choose your color, and then you choose your quantity. And one thing that's different about them than other places that I order is they offer a very large quantity, which if you ship out as much stuff as we do, you need a lot of bags and you want a discount for buying in bulk. When you buy more quantity on this website, you get a bigger discount. I just got an order in from GROPack and have a lot of spring kind of Eastery colors and some new kind of bags that I have never ordered before that I wanted to show you guys. So we almost always order the 10 by 13 poly mailers. That is what fits in these bags right here. These bags fit like perfectly in them, so it's most of our inventory system. So we use a lot of these bags. So we have a reorder of the peach pink ones, which I think Nikki loves the most. We also have these bright purple ones, which I've really been liking using. And then I'm really excited about these ones. I've never ordered the bubble mailers before, but I got some, and look at the colors on these. It's nice to just have a ground advantage option versus, like, you know, we use a lot of the priority mail padded flat rate envelopes, but we don't have a padded ground advantage option in that size, and they are just about the exact same size. So I'm excited to try these out. If you guys are interested in checking out GROPack, I think they're awesome. You can save so much money. I will have a link and a coupon code for a discount off of your very first purchase with them down below. Now back into today's sales. All right, you guys, so all of these sales happened between April 14th through the 20th, and it was a pretty decent week. Can't complain. Sales have been pretty steady, so pretty average week for us, nothing too crazy. Total items sold were 256 items. Gross item sales were just over $7,800. Average item sale price with both platforms combined was $30.50, so kind of low for us, but very happy again with the eBay average sale price, $37.91. Obviously, eBay is our main platform, and that's where we're selling most of our newer items, so for that to be within the range that we want, very happy with that. But like I said, I would like for both platforms combined to get this number between 35 and 40 per our goal, and we're continuing to work at that. On Poshmark, our average sale price was $23, so that's really dragging that down. All right, I'm going to be fast because as you guys can see, we have a million tabs open here. So let's get started. I did make sure to include both bread and butter and some higher price sales, starting off with some of the higher price ones just because I think you know, the bolos are why everybody comes to these videos. So this is a pretty interesting brand that I just recently learned about. It's called Sheeran Guild. For those of you that are just listening, it is SHIRIN space Guild, GUILD. And not a ton of information on this brand, but I did notice in solds, if it was selling for a lot. So we decided to take a little bit of a risk on it. It was 70% wool, 30% cashmere, all great signs. And honestly, like, look at the sweater, right? Pretty plain. You might pass on it if you came across it. So make sure you know these brands. We listed this one at $150 and I think I originally listed it actually a lot less than most people just because, like I said, not a lot of information and sell-through rate wasn't super high on eBay. And I'm glad I did list it lower because it did take a couple of months to sell, but it did end up selling for our full asking price of $150. And this is a colder weather item. You know, it is a wool cashmere blend sweater. So I do think I priced that correctly, but definitely keep your eye out for this brand. I know that I will be looking out for it. All right, next up, another designer brand. This is Nilly Lotan. Similarly to the previous bolo you just saw, really depending on what you have in this brand, some particular things do have a better sell-through rate, but in general, I would say not 100% sell-through rate in Nilly Lotan. However, they do tend to sell for quite a bit when they do sell. So this is a brand I pretty much get no matter what, if I'm being honest. I think this particular dress actually did have a decent sell-through rate. It was called the Raven midi dress. I listed this for $150 and it did sell for our full asking price. And just a reminder, guys, if you're curious as to how long it took to sell, this is the start time. So when we started the listing is up at the top of the screen for all of the eBay items. And then within our custom SKU here, we also have our cost of goods in case you guys are interested in learning that. But I personally would rather show you more sales and more brands than go over that information in totality for every single one. So just a reminder at the top of the screen for the eBay items, if that's something you are interested in, but a lot of these did sell pretty quickly. For instance, this one was listed January 10th, so it took a couple months to sell. Our goal is to try to sell everything within 90 days. So that is goal, and we're doing a pretty good job so far. All right, next up, a brand you definitely want to know about in the women's jeans department. There are like hardly any women's denim wear that you can still pick up and make money on quickly. This is one of the few brands out there left. Mother jeans. I would pretty much pick up any Mother jeans. They sell very well. There are some that sell particularly well. I would say that this would be the case with one of them because they are wide leg jeans. They were called the roller jeans in a size 30, which is a great size. And they also have specific colors or washes, and that information is usually on the inside of the jeans like you see here. So we listed these, I can't remember. I want to say I had them listed actually for like $125. Someone reached out to me via message to see if I'd sell them for $100, and I thought it was close enough, so we edited the price, I believe is what happened. So sold these for $100. And yeah, pretty quick flip. Let's see. Listed this on April 11th. They sold on April 16th. All right, next up, this is a brand I've mentioned before, but you guys definitely want to know about. A lot of people pass on this. It's called Alembica, especially if you have it in larger sizes. They make kind of like login-looky stuff, but definitely a brand that I think is overlooked. So Alembica Login Look dress. This one was just a size 6. I listed it for $90 or best offer, and we accepted an offer of $75 on this one, and it also sold pretty quickly within a couple of months. I have talked about my core customer for a while. I believe my core customer, the brands that we sell the most of are like mature, artsy, login looky brands. This would be the case if you guys see anything super artsy, login looky like this, just kind of out of the ordinary, maybe asymmetric, definitely look it up. I've found a ton of new designer brands that kind of fall within this realm recently. This one, and I don't think we even have a label for it. We had to go off of the logo. But it is the brand Mark Lebihan, I think is how you pronounce it here in the title. And this was a kind of login looky skirt. We listed this for $100 and it sold on an offer to watcher for $85, and it only took about a month to sell. So definitely keep your eye out for this brand. You guys might recognize these Harley boots. I showed them in a Thrift With Me video where some other resellers were after it, and I asked the guy with the shoe cart that was about to put them out if I could see them if he was about to put them on the shelf, and he handed them to me. And I am glad I picked these up because these actually sold pretty quickly. These are a pair of vintage Harley Davidson boots. They did have quite a bit of wear, including heel drag, but they were super cool. They had some zippers on the inside. If you guys find vintage Harley boots, definitely higher sell-through rate in my opinion than the newer Harley boots. I listed these at $75 just because of all the heel drag, and they sold on an offer to watcher for $64. Next up, we have a denim wear brand that definitely does not have 100% sell-through rate, but depending on what you have, can sell well. And I saw a lot better comps. I would say this is one of those brands that sells better on Poshmark than on eBay. The brand is called Silver Lake, minus the I, crafted in Los Angeles. These were called the Lulu jeans. Kind of took a risk on these. Just because, again, the sell-through rate wasn't really there. But I am glad I took that risk because they actually ended up selling pretty quickly. I listed them for $60. They sold on an offer to watcher for $51. Next up, this is a newer brand to me called Anne Fontaine. This is a women's, I just call it like a fancy blouse, but also kind of like, you know, artistic, kind of dressed up. Definitely, again, under my core customer, I think. We listed this for $70. Show you that label again so you can memorize it. Listed it for $70 and someone accepted an offer of $60 on an offer to watcher, and this one also sold pretty quickly. All right, next up we have another newer brand to me, another designer. It's called Dorothy Shoemaker. This is a really pretty silk blouse. Not much else to say about it. I would just, you know, look up stuff like this with the tacked on tags, very simple tags like this. I always look up if it appears it might be a designer. I listed this for $50 and it did sell for our full asking price. All right, this is Duluth Trading Company. I really like selling this brand. I used to pick up like anything in the men's department and it would sell well. That's actually not the case anymore. You have to be very specific with this brand. But what I will tell you is that the Duluth women's stuff in larger sizes sells very well, and the sell-through rate tends to be pretty high. These are a pair of women's, lots of great things going for this. Pair of bib overalls that is very hot, trendy right now for spring and summer. Overalls, people are like out gardening, they're outdoors, so bib overalls in just about any brand are going to increase value. Plus, this was cargo and it was a size 2X in Duluth, so all great factor stacking pieces. We listed these for $60. They sold on an offer to watcher for $51. They only took a couple of weeks to sell. Next up, I have had this shirt for a while now, almost a year, and I'm kind of sad to be getting rid of it. I listed it pretty high at $85. This is a vintage Jesus single stitch t-shirt, and if you guys didn't know, religious single stitch or vintage shirts, depending on what the subject matter is or how cool the graphic is, can sell for quite a bit of money. So I picked this up a year ago, probably listed it too high, or I just wanted to sell it too quickly, so I'm accepting an offer now. I probably could hold out and make a lot more money on this, but I just want to get things moving. This is the front of it. This is the back, which is such a cool graphic, and it really nice worn in feel, single stitch. Like I said, I listed this for $85 or best offer. It ended up selling on an offer that the watcher sent to me for $50, and I went ahead and accepted that because, like I said, I've had this for almost a year and I just want to get it moving. I originally paid $6, so selling it for $50, a great return on investment. Next up, this is definitely a brand you guys want to know for the summertime. This is a fantastic brand for men's swim trunks. I think it's pronounced Vilebrequin. Very nice multicolor print, kind of artsy out there swim trunks. Definitely a brand I would memorize. These pair were called the Ronde de Torture swim trunks. They had turtles and not turtles, sorry. They had starfish on them. And we listed these for $60. They sold on an offer to watcher for $51 pre-owned. Definitely keep your eye out for this brand. And depending on the print you have, there are some that are a little bit more rare, and you can actually get like closer to $100 pre-owned if you have the right print. But just in general, this is a brand I would totally pick up. All right, next up, again, kind of falling under my core customer. This is a log and look brand, kind of minimalist capsule wardrobe. This is Planet by Lauren G. And I think a lot of people mix this brand up with some other brands that have the word planet in it, so just make sure you have the right one. But they make one size fits all, oversized, really nice quality pieces. This one is an oversized dolman top. I listed this for $55 and an offer to watcher was sent for $47, which someone accepted. Next up, this is also a fun vintage find. This is a Walt Disney World men's Animal Kingdom t-shirt. This was so cool, and this was such a quick flip for a vintage piece. I need to show you the graphic a little closer. So Animal Kingdom stuff, vintage Animal Kingdom stuff can do really well. I come across a lot of Disney stuff, so it has to be a very specific piece, but I thought this one was really cool. I listed this men's one for $50. It sold within exactly a month for $50, which I thought was a great flip. Next up, this is an Anthropologie brand, Pilcrow. Used to be called Pilcrow and the letterpress, and I like selling their pants. Their stuff, pants wise, does a lot better on Poshmark, but I will say this is a style of denim you want to keep your eye out for. This particular shape, where it kind of comes out and tapers towards the bottom. Some are a lot more exaggerated. I think a lot of people are calling these barrel jeans now, so you should definitely look that up and be aware of it. But this shape and style of jean is trending right now. These ones, their style for it was called the Wanderer Relaxed Leg jeans. I listed these for $45 and they did sell for full asking price. Next up, this is Patagonia. Very picky with this brand now because not everything sells for a lot or very quickly. It's kind of getting oversaturated. So it has to be a more substantial piece, which I thought this was. This is like a kind of slouchy jumpsuit, which if you see any kind of jumpsuit that has this like slouchy kind of drop crotch effect, I would look it up. A lot of brands are doing this now, and it's a very trendy style. This was called the Lost Wildflower jumpsuit. I listed it for $50. It ended up selling on an offer to watcher for $42. Here is a jersey. You guys know I've said before, I don't know anything about sports, but it's okay because on jerseys you can just look up the brand and then whatever the numbers or the team is on your jersey, and you can usually figure it out, and I've had some pretty good luck with that. This brand, Mitchell & Ness, tends to be a pretty decent brand in sportswear stuff, whether it's jerseys or hats, tends to be pretty good. And then the collaboration with them with Cooperstown Collection really increases value and sell-through rate. This is the team called the Oakland A's, which I heard were pretty popular now. I have no idea why, but keep your eye out for it. If you guys come across it, I listed this for $50. It sold for my full asking price. All right, this is a brand that does not have 100% sell-through rate and quite frankly is out of season, but for some reason I'm selling quite a bit of it recently. So I'm going to continue to pick it up. Not telling you to do that, but I'm still having good luck with it, and that is Barefoot Dreams. This is a one size fits all dolman sleeve cardigan. Looks like it was called the Cliffside cardigan. I listed this for $40 and it sold for full asking price. We have been selling a lot of Free People midi and maxi length dresses. You guys might recognize this. I posted myself in this exact style, just in a different color, on Instagram recently. I love this dress. The shape of it is so good. It is called the Natalia midi dress, and pretty much any Free People midi and maxi length dress is performing well right now, so keep your eye out for that. I'm very fortunate that one of our wholesalers is able to send us a lot of Free People dresses right now, and they have been selling very, very well. This one I listed for $45 and it did sell for our full asking price. Next up, this is a brand I like getting in larger sizes or more substantial pieces. It's Soft Surroundings. This is both. It is a size large, extra large, and it is a kimono. Gorgeous colors on this. Really great piece. They also kind of fall in that like artsy login look, more mature category. I listed this for $50. It sold on an offer to watcher for $42. Next up, never thought I'd be saying this. So you guys know my love-hate relationship with women's denim wear brands that retail for a lot, but like I just have the hardest time selling them. This is definitely one of those cases. So these are a pair of Paige jeans, which I never thought I would say, but these are called the Hidden Hills Flare jeans, and so they must be a way more popular style. I come across Paige a lot, and just sell-through rate's not good. We sold these Hidden Hill Flare jeans in velvet for our full asking price of $45. Next up, this is a kids piece. This is an Aviator Nation hoodie. I've mentioned this brand a ton of times. They sell men's, they sell women's, they sell kids, they sell baby stuff, and it all sells for crazy amounts of money. And if you don't know what you're looking for, you might pass on it because their stuff generally looks pretty worn in. I can usually tell what it is by like this rainbow logo being somewhere or striping across it. This one we listed for $45 and it did sell for our full asking price. Next up, this is Great Bread and Butter for us, Talbot's plus size pieces. This one is a Talbot's 24W dress, kind of a solid color royal blue dress, and it was new with tags, so we priced it up. Listed this for $40. It sold on an offer to watcher for $34. You guys might recognize this one. We got this on our Virginia trip. This is Rothko. It is a men's flight suit. Anytime I see like bib overalls or men's coveralls, stuff like that, I always look it up. This one was new with tags, so that's the main reason that I took a look at it. And I picked this up for $8.99. It sold for my full asking price of $40. Next up, we've been selling a lot of these. This is a great brand to pick up in dresses during this time of the year. It is Tommy Bahama. This is Tommy Bahama, and it's a specific style, which must be a newer style, called the Arts of Palm romper dress. So it had shorts underneath. Listed this one for $40. It did sell for full asking price. With Tommy Bahama dresses, we can usually get anywhere from $30 to $40 for them pre-owned, depending on length, style, material, things like that. Right, this brand has been surprising me a lot lately. I am still finding my footing with it because I still don't think I quite understand what sells well in this brand. Maybe I need to do a deep dive on this brand actually. That might be good for me and for you guys. COS, C-O-S, this is like a higher end line put out by H&M, and some of their stuff sells for like really good money, and then other stuff just sits for me. So again, I haven't quite figured it out, but this was a really great sale. This is just a pretty plain women's t-shirt, but it was super thick. We listed it for $35 and it sold for our full asking price of $35. Pre-owned. Plain t-shirt. I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you have good luck with this brand and what I should look for. Some people told me to look for the white label. This is a gray label and it sold for $35, so I'm just really confused. All right, next up, this is another great brand to look for that kind of goes along that like log and look mature aesthetic. It is CP Shades, and their tag usually is the same, like the lettering is the same color as the background, so pretty easy to pass on if you don't know what you're looking for. This is a women's tunic top. I listed it for $40. It sold on an offer to watcher for $34. This brand does extremely well if you have linen pieces, which this one was a corduroy cotton, but if you find linen in CP Shades, it can do a lot better. This brand, you guys, there's not a lot of bra brands that I get really excited about. This one is one of them. Super high sell-through rate in just about anything in this brand. It is Honey Love. They make shapewear, bras, stuff like that. We're selling the shapewear and the bras, and even pre-owned, they're selling like for crazy good money. If you can find them in the plus sizes, they sell extremely quickly. This one sold in just 7 days. It is just a little padded bra, pre-owned, but it is a size 1X. We listed it for $40 and it sold on an offer to watcher for $34 for a pre-owned bra, guys. Keep your eye out for Honey Love. I think I have some more Honey Love pieces coming up. All right, this next one is more of a factor stacking piece. This is the brand Cactus Flower. This is a vintage all over lace made in USA, kind of witchy maxi skirt. We listed this for $40. It sold on an offer to watcher for $34. This did take quite a while to sell. We probably priced it too high originally, but it did end up selling for a good amount. All right, this is Soft Surroundings again. This is a size extra large petite, longer length dress, multicolor, all great things. For those reasons, we listed for $40. It sold on an offer to watcher for $34. Here's another Honey Love item. This is a size large, so not plus size, but larger size. And it is a like shapewear piece. And we also listed this for $40. It sold on an offer to watcher for $34. And this one sold the same day we listed it. You guys have to keep your eye out for Honey Love. All right, this is a men's piece. This is Polo by Ralph Lauren. This brand performs very well for me during this time of the year. And anything that is like printed. So like this one's a pair of paisley shorts. It's got a silk blend in it. But like Hawaiian print stuff, bright multicolors do pretty well in Polo by Ralph Lauren. I listed these for $34 and they did sell for our full asking price. This is Abercrombie & Fitch. I really like selling the men's vintage and Y2K pieces in this brand. And I've noticed that anything that has the muscle line on it also performs pretty well. So this is an Abercrombie & Fitch muscle Hawaiian button-up shirts. I have had this for several months. I think it really needed the right season. But I listed it for $30. It did end up selling eventually for our full asking price. All right, and a lot of the rest of the eBay stuff are my bread and butter, like plus size pieces. So I'll go through these really quickly and then we'll jump into the Poshmark sales. Ralph Lauren, size 2X button up top, sold for my full asking price of $30. Love selling this brand in plus size. This is, again, a brand that goes along that like login looky, artsy kind of customer. Is XCVI in the wearables line, which has a pretty decent sell-through rate. These are actually not the style pants I normally find. I wouldn't say that these are very true to XCVI wearables. They were called the Jetter pants in a size extra large. I listed them for $30 and they sold for my full asking price. But usually I'm finding the like Y2K like bootcut or flare style ones, and it also performs pretty well. But as a whole, this wearables by XCVI brand performs good. Here's another Ralph Lauren plus size top. I have been sitting on this for a little while, but it ended up selling for my full asking price of $27. Here's another Honey Love item. This is a size small bra. We listed it for $35. It took 8 days to sell and it sold on an offer to watcher for $30. This is an Eileen Fisher piece. I talked to you guys a lot about picking up Eileen Fisher plus size pieces, but during spring and summer, if there's enough factor stacking, we will pick it up in smaller sizes. In this case, this is a more substantial piece, being a jacket, and it was linen in a size small. Listed this for $30. It sold on an offer to watcher for $30. This is a Lululemon Pace Rival skirts. Lululemon skirts and shorts in the women's department are performing very well for us. We can usually sell them between like $30 and $40. So I would definitely keep your eye out for it, because a lot of resellers just kind of skip the shorts section. I know I did for a very long time during spring and summer, just because there's just not hardly ever any brands that perform well in that category. But just glance down, see if something looks athletic, and see if it's Lululemon, because you could snatch up some great pieces. I listed this for $35. It sold on an offer to watcher for $30. This is a factor stacking piece. This is a vintage Y2K piece. This is Faded Glory. And just as a category, vintage longer length denim dresses perform very well for me, especially in larger sizes. This one had all the factors to it. I listed it for $30, and it sold on an offer to watcher for $25. Next up, this is another plus size factor stacking piece. This is fresh produce, which performs pretty well in larger sizes, like plus sizes. Plus this one was new with tags. So 3X, the Cabana bright windfall tunic top, new with tags, listed it for $35. It sold on an offer to watcher for $30. This is Oh My Gauze. This again falls under that same line of core customer of mine, and definitely a great brand to look for. Sometimes it just says OMG, which stands for Oh My Gauze, so keep your eye out for that. This was just a little tunic top. You can see it's kind of artsy with that random pocket. Listed this for $35. It sold on an offer to watcher for $30. This is another brand that performs well for me in plus sizes. It's Michael Kors. This is a Michael Kors 3X vest, so a little bit more of a substantial piece. I listed this for $35, and it did sell for our full asking price, and it actually sold the exact same day that we listed it. I would definitely keep your eye out for this style in general, like Hawaiian dresses, sarong skirts, things like that, because there are a lot of brands that perform very well in this category right now. This is a newer brand to me. I am not sure how to pronounce that. I want to say Baia, B-A-I-I-A. Never heard of it, but really decent sale. This sold the same day we listed it for our full asking price of $35. It's just like a sarong skirt, which basically just means it's like a wrap skirt. This is another bread and butter. It is Maggie Barnes for Catherine, size 4X, geometric top. Once you get to 4X in Maggie Barnes, the sell-through rate jumps pretty high, so just a tip for you. And it did sell for my full asking price of $25. This is another brand that performs well in plus sizes. It is Kokomo. This is a Kokomo 3X top. I listed it for $25, and it did sell for full asking price. Another plus size item. This is Talbot's plus size. Love selling Talbot's plus size. This one we listed for $25, and it sold for full asking price. Another plus size one, Logo Lori Goldstein. This one's a Logo Lounge, size 2X, tunic top. I listed this for $25. It sold on an offer to watcher for $21. Here's a very hazy photo, but even with it, good enough brand, it still sold quickly. This one only took 10 days to sell. This is another brand I'd look for in the like bra category. It's called Ruby Ribbon. So this is a Ruby Ribbon pre-owned bra. We listed it for $30. It sold on an offer to watcher for $25, and again, it only took 10 days. And lastly, on eBay, another brand that performs well in plus size tops for me, it is Calvin Klein. This is a Calvin Klein 3X top. Listed this one a little higher just because it had some more substantial pieces to it, like balloon sleeves, the ruffle details. It was geometric, all good things. So we listed this one for $30, and it did sell for our full asking price of $30. So get to know these brands that perform well in plus size, because you could be leaving like $25-$30 all day long on the table, and they are very easy to come across. All right, we are now going to dive into the Poshmark sales and finish out this video. Another Honey Love piece. This is Honey Love 1X. You guys gotta know this brand, I'm telling you. Here's another one of those shapewear briefs, and this one sold for $30. This is J. Jill. I just mentioned we love picking this up in plus sizes. However, we will get less than plus size if there's enough substantial pieces. Linen performs very well in this brand during this time of the year. So this is a linen extra large, and it's a more substantial piece being a longer length cardigan. And it sold for $30. Plus it was pink, and I feel like pink is still very trendy right now. This was a really cool vintage find. I feel like I'm showing you guys a lot of vintage sales this week. We do sell like a lot of vintage stuff. I just don't always get the chance to show you guys, but I do love selling vintage. So this is a really cool sweatshirt. Actually, Joe found this for me while we were thrifting. if you guys ever see a sweatshirt where the lettering goes like across the sleeves, I would just say automatically you should probably pick it up, because I've sold tons of stuff like this before and it always performs super well. So this is a Georgetown sweatshirt, really cool bulldog graphic by the Jerseys brand, Super Sweats, and it ended up selling for $45 on Poshmark. All right, Abercrombie also is performing well in some of the women's stuff. This is a pair of mom shorts. This line, Curve Love, specifically performs a lot better than some of the other stuff. And we were lucky enough to find this new with tags. And these sold for an offer to watcher of $27. Here's another polo by Ralph Lauren. I like picking up the men's shirts by this brand if they are in larger sizes and have a little bit of something going for it. So this one is like a vintage retro looking long sleeve polo shirt, contrast collar. It is a size extra large and it sold for $30. Anthropologie, midi to maxi length dresses all day long we will pick up. This is by Anthropologie, their house line. And it was new with tags. You can see how much this retails for, $170. Crazy. Very pretty dress. It sold on an offer for $100 and we've already received positive feedback. This is a brand that retails for a lot. Definitely the sell-through rate is not there to pick up everything in this brand, but I have noticed that their longer length dresses, or sometimes they're like more multicolor dresses, can perform well. In this case, this one is a longer length dress, Boston Proper. Sorry, I should have said that, Boston Proper. This is a maxi length plaid dress and it was new with tags. So for all of those reasons we listed it, it ended up selling for $50 on Poshmark. This is one of my favorite brands to sell pre-owned. It is Betsey Johnson. If you guys see vintage Betsey Johnson stuff, especially in their dresses, you definitely want to pick it up. I have sold vintage Betsey Johnson dresses for well over $100. This one didn't quite make the mark because it was a little bit shorter, but still a really gorgeous piece. And we included the keyword whimsy goth, which if you guys aren't familiar with, I would get familiar with that keyword because it is very trendy right now. And yeah, this one actually sold, I think, possibly even the same week we listed it. It was a very quick sale for $75 pre-owned. So Betsey Johnson, keep your eye out for that stuff. All right, the next couple of sales are both the J. Crew Baird McNutt collaboration line. So definitely keep your eye out for J. Crew. J. Crew linen in general does pretty well, but the J. Crew linen lines perform extremely well. So this is a men's J. Crew Baird McNutt Irish linen shirt. It sold for $31. And the same one, you can see the label a little bit better here, sold for $25 on this sale. Next up, you guys might know this brand for its denim. It is Frame, but I recently learned that they make some other stuff, and the Frame tops actually perform decently well, specifically on Poshmark. This is a really gorgeous kind of balloon sleeve top in a size medium. It sold for $34, and I think in general, tops and the brand Frame for me have sold like anywhere from $35 to $45 pre-owned. So pretty decent brand if you find it. I don't come across the tops very often, but when I do, I usually pick them up. Or you guys might recognize this brand from the golf deep dive I just put out. So if you guys haven't seen that, go back, watch the men's golf wear video. I literally just put it out. And we discussed many different brands. This actually was on the honorable mentions. It wasn't even like the Bolo stuff in the beginning, but it has been performing extremely well for me. So these are Loudmouth golf shorts. They are a pair of like diamond argyle multicolor shorts. These actually sold for my full asking price on Poshmark of $40. This is an athletic wear brand, depending on what you have, can perform well. This is Aloe Yoga, and these are a pair of men's moto joggers, and this particular style is performing very well, and these sold on an offer for $42. Here's that brand CP Shades again. The one I showed you before was blue on blue. This is white on white. So you can see how hard it is to see. This one is linen, and it is a longer length dress, so it's obviously selling for more. And it ended up selling on an offer for $45 on Posh. Here's another Free People item. Some Free People shoes can perform well. I wouldn't say that I would pick up every pair of Free People shoes, but in general, this chunky platform look is very trendy, so we thought that these would be good. These are a pair of slides. They were called the Harbor Flatform. Almost said platform. Flatform sandals. And they were kind of Barbiecore-esque, so lots of stuff. These ended up selling for $45 on Posh. Here's another Logo by Lori Goldstein plus size top. This one sold for $22. Here is a designer brand you definitely want to look for. It is Anna Sui, and also a hard label to read. It's ANNA Sui SUI. She makes some pretty elaborate pieces, and she also does quite a bit of collaborations with other brands also. And she also makes a lot of pieces that celebrities wear. So just keep your eye out for it. Definitely a brand you want to know, Anna Sui. This is a gorgeous silk beaded tank top, and it sold on an offer to Watcher for $44, and this one sold very quickly. All right, this is a newer plus size brand to me. It's called We Bebop. First time coming across this. This is a size 5X. It's a patchworky button-down shirts. Everything that I've listed in this brand plus size wise has sold so quickly, so keep your eye out for it. This one sold for $30. Pair of Spanx. This is the line The Perfect Pant. I've talked about this before. Spanx have a style number on the inside tags. Let's see if I can find one for you here. It's actually on this tag right here. And if you look it up, you'll be able to tell the exact style to do your comps. But I feel like I've gotten pretty good at knowing what these feel like. But anything in the Perfect Pant line right now is selling so super quickly, so keep your eye out for it. These were the ankle slit pants, and they sold for $35. I've actually sold the Perfect Pant in some other like leg styles and sizes for closer to $100. So depending on what you have, can go for a lot, but definitely the line is what you want to be aware of. Next up, this is more bread and butter, but I thought I would share it with you. Torrid, they're obviously known for their plus size pieces. This is a larger size. It's a 4X, but anything skull related with Torrid performs extremely well. So if I see Torrid, if it's at least a 1X or higher and it's got a skull on it, like, I'm picking it up because it just sells so quickly for me. This is a skull butterfly top, and it sold for $29. And lastly, this is a Lululemon jacket, and I thought I would share it because it is a very specific piece. And it sold for $72, which is quite a bit actually for Lululemon jackets these days. Brand is very oversaturated. This was called the Hooded Define jacket in Nulu leopard camo, and it was a size 18, so larger size, which is the main reason I think it sold so quickly. But important lesson with Lululemon is make sure you don't just look up Lululemon. Like if you were to pick this up, don't just look up like Lululemon animal print hoodie and do the comps with that, because you might not list it for as high as I did. Make sure you look up the style numbers here so that you know exactly what you have and the size you have, and look all of that stuff up, because that's really the only differential between listing something for, like, I would say most Lululemon hoodies are going for like 30 to 40. I got almost double that. And that's only because I did the research and looked up the style. Otherwise, I would have listed it much lower. So just a tip for you on some of these Lululemon items. Okay, so that's it for what sold last week. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching. If you like these videos and you want to be notified every single time I post them, don't forget to subscribe down below, hit the notification bell, and then make sure that you hit all. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.